Development Report, the preliminary data showed that the percentage of schools meeting the standard or ideal ratio for ICT packages and e-classrooms improved to 67% in 2024, surpassing the 2023 achievement of 65% in its targets. So similarly, the percentage of schools meeting the standard ideal also for classrooms reached 79%. So these figures indicate gradual progress in addressing infrastructure gaps, but underscore the need for accelerated efforts, particularly in underserved areas. Another, of course, is the digital divide, so which remains persistent barriers. Access to digital technologies, particularly the internet, varies greatly across different communities. And populations without robust internet access or modern digital tools are at a disadvantage. So this divide limits individual access to information and restricts the ability to participate in the digital conversation shaping today's society. And of course, also we have the cultural and linguistic barriers. So the media literacy education must be culturally relevant, and that is a challenge, and accessible to reach the diverse groups effectively. And we have these rapid technological changes. We're keeping educational programs where we need to keep it up to date. And with these changes, it requires ongoing revisions and resources, which may not always be readily available. And there's also the problem of policy and funding constraints, where effective media literacy programs require substantial support and funding. So if the media initiatives might lack the necessary resources to reach a broad audience and make lasting impact. And lastly, the lifelong learning and adaptability, which are the essential skills requiring ongoing education and flexibility to adapt to new tools, platforms, and media formats as they emerge. That's why it is not just from, you see, 10 to 64. So, dapat sige-sige education mo para ang, we're trying to shorten the gap. So next slide, please. So ano ang role ng media in improving literacy? So there's expanding educational access and engagement. The media platforms such as television, radio, and internet, and educational software provide non-formal, engaging learning opportunities across all age groups. So these tools supplement traditional classroom instruction by delivering educational content in accessible digital formats. As a result, learners benefit from enriched and refreshed knowledge experiences that are more interactive and dynamic than conventional methods alone. There's also facilitating lifelong learning. So media enables the acquisition of knowledge beyond formal education settings through interactive programs, educational games. So ang digital media caters to diverse learning styles and preferences, allowing individuals to tailor their educational experiences according to their own pace, skills, and interests. So we have so many learning platforms na you can see, pati mga ikigai, how do you do that? You have this 30-day parang continuing, if you're already from 60 and beyond, you can continue to learn for free. So this flexibility supports continuous personal and professional development throughout a person's life. And acting as socializing agents is because mass media plays a crucial role in shaping social norms, values, and cultural awareness, thereby contributing to the broader framework of literacy and identity formation. But of course, from our end, we have to ground them, we have to ground our students for the values that make us Filipinos, because they're so exposed to international. So it fosters a global understanding and social cohesion, better keeping your own being Filipino and being Ilonggo. Next slide, please. The importance of improving media literacy. So one is